Welcome to The Explainer, where we break down the big stories behind the headlines. Today, we're diving into a situation that has gone from really tense to absolutely critical in just a matter of hours, the escalating standoff between the United States and Iran.
All right, let's just jump right in with a pretty chilling statement that shows you exactly how high the stakes have become. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, that's the IRGC, a really powerful part of their military, has basically come out and said the time for talking is over. And let me tell you, this isn't just empty talk. It's a very clear signal that they are shifting to a military footing. So in just the last day, what was, a simmering regional tension has completely boiled over. This isn't some distant conflict anymore. We are talking about an escalating crisis with immediate worldwide implications. And believe it or not, it all started with a single event out at sea.
Okay, so let's trace this back. Let's look at the very beginning. How exactly was this fuse lit? What was the one thing that pushed this whole confrontation right over the edge?
It all kicked off with this one event. The US Navy seized an Iranian cargo ship. Now, this was part of an American naval blockade, and for Tehran, this was crossing a serious red line. It set off a chain reaction that was both incredibly fast and incredibly severe.
And what's wild is just how swift and decisive Iran's reaction was. There was zero hesitation. They moved to escalate immediately, which brings us to their really forceful response, shutting down the Strait of Hormuz.
Iran's response was like a three-punch combo. First, they just slammed the door shut on diplomacy. No more talks, period. Second, reports started flooding in about Iranian drone attacks targeting U.S. ships in the area. And third, the biggest move of all, they closed the Strait of Hormuz.
Now, to really get why that last move has a global impact, you have to understand the geography here. This isn't just any body of water. The Strait of Hormuz is basically a vital global artery. It's an incredibly narrow choke point, and a huge chunk of the world's oil has to pass through it. So closing it, that's like putting a clamp on the world's energy supply. And bam! That single action created a massive ripple effect, a shockwave that was felt instantly in markets all around the globe. So let's break down that economic fallout.
The economic hit was immediate, and it was dramatic. You can see it right here. The second that news about Hormuz broke, global oil prices didn't just climb, they surged. They went through the roof. And this, of course, created a wave of panic that just rippled through financial markets everywhere.
And the fear now is that this goes way beyond just energy prices. You've got analysts openly warning that this sudden crisis, this energy shock, could actually be the trigger that pushes an already fragile global economy into a full-blown worldwide recession.
And this is what brings the crisis right to your doorstep. It's no longer some abstract geopolitical standoff. That huge surge in oil prices, it's going to be felt at every single gas station, driving up costs for, pretty much everything, for everyone. But this isn't just a two-player game anymore. Nope. This crisis is rapidly turning into a great power chessboard, and it's forcing the rest of the world to start taking sides.
Yeah, this whole thing is not happening in a vacuum. While the main players are clearly the US and Iran, the real wild card here involves other major powers. And the biggest question swirling around right now is about China and Russia. Are they quietly supporting Iran through this blockade? Because if they are, that completely changes the strategic math for everyone involved. So in response to this widening crisis, the US is mobilizing. A C-17 Globemaster, that's a massive military transport plane, has just touched down in Rawalpindi, and it's carrying a high-level diplomatic team. This is widely being seen as a last-ditch effort to manage the fallout and, find some kind of off-ramp before this explodes into a full-scale war.
Which brings us to right now, to the current incredibly tense situation playing out in the Gulf. With military forces in position and diplomacy hanging by a thread, we are truly on the brink of war. So what we have now is a direct military standoff. On one side, you've got the immense power of the US naval blockade, and confronting them, Iran's fleet of fast, agile IRGC gunboats. It's a classic asymmetrical face-off, where, as analysts are pointing out, the margin for error is now literally zero. And the really scary part is the growing fear that this crisis could spill over and destabilize the entire region. The question isn't just about the US and Iran anymore. Now analysts are starting to ask, who's next? Could other regional powers, someone like Turkey, get dragged into this, or even be targeted?
So, we are left at a massive turning point. The entire world is watching this high-stakes diplomatic mission. Is it a real chance to de-escalate, a genuine path back from the brink, or is it just the final step, the last formality before a much wider war becomes inevitable?
The